Hey kids, do you like pro wrestling? Well, we like pro wrestling too. This week on Shake Them Ropes, it's the second biggest weekend in wrestling in America? Question mark. We'll ask about that. The
The
lazy river of
questions, the hard questions are
the
finally
hard
being
questions.
asked.
Finally, yes.
Finally. It- are you
We
experiencing
just
bigness?
no, the reason I'm laughing is because we just got through a minor discussion of the Epstein client list, and these are the tough questions that people want answered. Is this the second biggest weekend in wrestling in America?
People want answers, and on this show, we're getting to the bottom of it.
In the Lazy River Wrestling Criticism, yeah, we're gonna preview all of that stuff, even though probably won't get up in time because both members of Voices of Wrestling are on vacation. And in Vader Club, even more silliness. Chris has selected Beavis and Butthead reviewing the Real American music video.
I casted this as Beavis and Butthead versus Hulk Hogan, which I give 5 stars.
All right, we'll go with that. I am Jeff Hawkins. He is Chris Novembrino. 20-year anniversary today. Shinya Hashimoto passing away suddenly due to a brain aneurysm at the age of 40. Good God. True,
I mean,
great. Love
you
him.
look at all the Kings Road stuff, and I mean the guys who gave their bodies for that style. Yes, all-time legends, all-time legendary work. But you know, we often like to feature these type of guys in Vader Club, but I always do keep in the back of my mind that there was a real cost to this style.
So the question, because it might even be the second biggest weekend in wrestling, period, depending on
It
how
might
you view
be.
New Japan.
You're hearing it more and more.
And no, but seriously, is All In bigger than Royal Rumble? I don't know. I really don't think so, but they were pushing this on the Observer. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I think All In is an important show. And it's especially important this year for AEW because I think they're going to be doing pretty much a big creative reset. But I think we won't be able, I mean, look, it's going to have 35-star matches that'll have the snowflake types going ape. But I really think if business is going to be moved by this all-in show, we're not going to know for a couple weeks. And it's going to depend on the follow-through with how whoever is AEW champion at the end of this.
And having a killer angle to end this show if this is indeed a rewrite. So for all the snowflakes that might fall at All In, ultimately business will be driven and made by a clever deployment of a big angle here to end the show, a big debut. Is there any murmurings of who that might be?
I don't think there's a debut out there that can do that, but I
don't think so either.
But I don't think that's the big angle that needs to happen. I think this needs to be a rebirth of super over babyface Hangman Page in some way, and that he has to cut a really strong promo on Wednesday. That's for me, but maybe I'm not seeing something here. Maybe we go back to Hangman and Swerve again. Who knows? But
this company needs a dominant babyface.
There's no free agent out there that would be that kind of guy because AEW signed them all in the last year or so. So
no, this would be an incredible time for a white hot Will Ospreay, the king of the Indies, to make his big appearance at the end of the show against all the heel factions and wipe them out and establish that he is the new dominant babyface in town. And that he can really beat the crap out of all the heels here, and he means something. But I don't know who that would be now. And I also I'm still having a hard time conceiving what the reset looks like for this company.
I think
if I was given the pen and paper, because you have to break up a lot of these heel factions and consolidate them. I mean, I'd have a babyface come in and wipe out a couple of these heel factions by themselves to get them hot, and you still have a heel faction at the back end of it.
Yeah, and you're going to, and I think I know where it is, and we'll get to that in the all-in preview. But we have a few interesting news items. this is kind of under rumor and innuendo, but at the same time, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. Shayna Baszler was listed as a producer for the Keilani Jordan versus Laney Reed match on the July 8th NXT show. This isn't the first time she's been in this role of late. She's done it a few times. Right now, it's not her next job, but it's something she's doing since she's still under contract until August 2nd. It was when this news came out, someone came out and clarified really quickly that, hey, this is just until my contract ends, and then I'm going to be weighing my options, which I assume would be coming from Shayna's camp, especially if AEW might be under consideration. But I think Shayna Baszler is a net positive for NXT. She is a legend in NXT. That is where her character was its most badass. And I am here for more women in NXT learning from Shayna Baszler.
I am too, and Shayna Baszler as an agent who can still go and is a legend in NXT is a tremendous multi-utility item. Because, for example, let's say you need to jazz up the product a little bit, or you need to jazz up the women's division a little bit. You could have Shayna make that white hot, re-debut. You can have her get the belt to be a transitional champion to help make that next figure. So that's great. And if she is agenting the matches, then I think that's a good thing too.
John Wall Street, a sports business website that Nick Khan has an ownership stake in, ran an interview with Carlos Silva, who predicted that TNA will have a major television deal within 60 days. Later on Ariel Helwani's show, he said 90 days and changed it, but he expects it to be a $10 million per year deal that will include the pay-per-views and TNA Plus specials. He has said that TNA Plus has 21,000 subscriptions. Now, on its face, I would look at this and go, he is talking out of his ass. He's absolutely insane if he thinks that. But
I could see him middlemaning a deal to Netflix where for a pretty discount rate they get access to that kind of stuff.
And who would be able to help TNA broker that kind of a deal with Netflix?
Yep,
Chris?
Nick Khan.
And WWE.
Exactly.
I
don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that you see TNA content on Netflix very soon within the calendar year.
And I don't think it's necessarily out of the realm of possibilities that on Wednesday nights is TNA Impact.
They absolutely are running more live content, and they like the option of you kicking on Netflix and seeing a library and a live-brary, for lack of a better term.
Yes. At first I read this, I go, he's on crack. There's no way.
No. The second you told this to me immediately, I was like, yeah, WWE brokers a deal with Netflix for a discount rate on TNA. And TNA is going to be perfectly happy to be like, would you like to be on Netflix? Yes.
Please.
Okay.
No. We don't.
Are we paying you? No, you're actually going to give us money? Cool.
We can be solvent for a number of years with this.
This is like a DistroKid thing where we have to pay to get uploaded? Okay.
It's an old territory days where territories were paying for the TV time. But they could be cannon fodder in WWE's quote-unquote war against AEW. We'll throw something out there to see if we can take some viewers away from them.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, people might, because a lot of people have Netflix who don't have terrestrial cable.
Yeah, I'm wondering what those numbers are, but I don't think we'll ever see them because nobody releases.
Nobody likes to talk about the cord-cutting attrition thing in a super earnest way. It seems to always be third-party, amalgamations of data is the best understanding of what we have for that trend.
Yeah. Scott Stanford announcing he's gone from WWE seems to not have been his choice, but he was there for 15 years, and I would say he was underutilized. I really liked Scott Stanford. I thought he came from that classic mold of real-life broadcaster, news broadcaster who came into WWE, famously got clowned by CM Punk a few times, which back when in CM Punk's first run before he left for UFC, was mostly doing like, I would say, third string shows.
Yeah, I used to caption him a lot on the WWE Network back in the day.
Yeah, and the network he was doing that, and then when the network died, it would be for mostly just YouTube, I think, and maybe Peacock. But I mean, he'd do some voiceovers here and there for the company too. But I always liked the guy. I thought he should have got another shot in that, but I guess yeah, time moves on. I got nothing else to say about that. I mean, there's no great. I mean,
look,
Stanford. What's your favorite Scott Stanford moment? It's like you don't. Have
no,
one.
I really, look. If I was going to give him his rose or whatever, I'd say to me, Scott was an integral part of the network launch and everything, and that he did do a lot of really good live stuff on the network. I thought he was always a very steady hand and knew the product well. Look. There's something to be said for that, JR.
There's something to be said for doing show prep.
Yep.
The Dallas Morning News reporting that Dustin Rhodes has signed a 6-year extension during the winter for consulting, coaching, being an ambassador for AEW, and occasional wrestling matches. The idea seems to be one of the rare people to have This is Dave. His idea seems to be one of the rare people to have matches in 6 decades if he can pull it off in 2030 when he'll be 60. I like Dustin. Get paid.
Yeah.
Stay in for as long as he can.
No, I think it's entirely possible he actually manages to do a match in all 6 decades, which is crazy.
And speaking of your talk about is there a free agent who could show up, it appears that one is off the table that I thought for certain was going to AEW because there was interest there. AJ Styles has signed a new 1-year contract extension with WWE. I believe his contract is either about to expire or just expired. So he is off the board for going to AEW and having a few more bangers before he retires.
No, and I think he likes doing a little bit of character work, and this Dominic thing is good for him. It is reheating AJ after various stints of not being particularly cool. I think he is more fun now than he has been in other iterations over the last couple of years.
I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't want to bump at his age a lot. That might be required of a 5-star banger in AEW. That would not shock me at all. Look,
hasn't he also, I mean, this is certainly not to slag his overall work, but he has had a couple of slips too in the last year or so, doing some of those higher flying moves.
Yes.
So he might very well be cognizant of, it's time to slow this down.
Yes, I think age has caught up, and maybe I'm going to do one of these spots per match versus 3 of them.
Yeah, there's I could not tell you what match, but in my head there's a springboard where he lost his footing on, which
I remember this.
Yes, at his age would very much be one of those things I'd walk back from and be like, oh, okay, I was very lucky tonight, but I'm going to change what I am doing going ahead now.
And that'll do it. The lazy river of wrestling criticism, whatever we watched, whatever we had time for. I'm going to start with this. If you did not watch last week's Collision, watch the main event of FTR versus the Outrunners. It was absolutely sublime and fantastic. It really was. If you don't think the Outrunners know how to work, you're in for a shock. They're more than just comedy, guys. It was a really, really great tag match. And we will start with AEW All In. I think we're going kind of in order of importance, but I don't know that for a fact. It depends on how you view
A lot of people are saying
Evolution.
This is the second most important weekend in professional wrestling.
Starting with on the 0 hour, of which there will be 20 more matches added, but there are 2 on here for the pre-show. Starting with FTR versus the Outrunners, again, as a tag match on here. I think the Outrunners get their win back here. I think they knew that they probably should have had them win on that Thursday match, given how the crowd was so over for them in Oxnard.
You want a feel-good opener. This is going to be a nice little well-worked match. Hopefully it doesn't overstay its welcome. I suspect it'll be good. I have the Outrunners winning.
Yep. Kind of another feel-good match, too. Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration consisting of Hologram, Kyle O'Reilly, and Tomohiro Ishii, with Big Justice and the Rizzler, taking on the Don Callis family of Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta.
Now, here's the thing. Some of you might have said no one gives a shit about Big Boom AJ in 2025, and you're wrong. Tony Khan does.
I like him overall. I just don't want to see his overweight kids trying to get in the ring.
I told you this is a 2024 fad. Like, these are fad personalities. I meant that when I said it in 24. No one cares now.
Can I see Hechicero like stretch the Riz or something? Because I'm here for that.
No, if anything, I want the Rizzler to like basically just take over this match. Let's have him do stupid shit. Because like Big Boom AJ and his little catchphrase and stuff they're done. They have X-Pac heat for me. I think the only one of the three that's still got any potential of not being stale is the Rizzler. And that's
Rizzler
because
salt on the Lance Archer. Kind of here for it. Let's see it.
You know, what can I say? The kid's just charismatic.
But I think Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration get a pin on Rocky Romero somehow.
Absolutely. After attempting to weaponize the Rizzler off the top rope.
And then to the main card, 9 matches announced. Good Lord. Starting with the Ops of Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe taking on the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and their friend Gabe Kidd.
I mean, this should be the end of the Death Riders here at this pay-per-view, but I don't know that it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be either. I think they're going to get something's going to happen where they kick out some members and they put in new members, and it kind of gets a new, because I still think Chris Statlander somehow ending up in this group.
So I got the Ops. Well, no, I just had the babyfaces winning the last one. I don't think the Ops win this then. I think the Ops lose.
This isn't necessarily in order either.
Oh, okay. If it's not necessarily in order, that changes things a little bit. I'm gonna say the Ops. The Ops win then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with they retain on this one. By beating Wheeler Yuta.
Actually. Yeah.
Now a 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, who were absolutely murder death on Wednesday.
This was so lame.
Versus Jet Speed of Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey and the Patriarchy, who did, 5-6 concertos on Bobby Lashley's leg? Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. Who you got here?
I think the Patriarchy somehow win this.
I agree. I think the Patriarchy are going to be your new tag champs, and somehow we get Christian Cage and Cope out of this to go after FTR. I don't know how, but they'll figure out. I'm not gonna fantasy book right now because I don't care. And I don't think the Patriarchy deserve to be in this match, but you can't belt Jet Speed after all this, so it has to be the Patriarchy,
It's got to be the Patriarchy.
Yeah.
And, it's just that they're so cold going into this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw Christian on my screen this week, and I was like, oh, yeah, Christian. I like him sometimes.
I agree. I'm with you. For the TNT Championship, a title that has seemingly disappeared for the last 6 months, even though it's supposedly the number 2 title in the company. Do you know who the TNT Champion is, Chris, if I asked you?
I'm going to just assume Sasha Banks because I had no clue what any of those belts were that were in the background this week. So it's probably Sasha Banks.
No, that's the TBS title, but thank you for playing. Adam Cole is your AEW TNT title holder after beating Daniel Garcia, taking on Kyle Fletcher, who right now might be on my ballot as most improved again, because him and Takeshita as a Southern style tag team
Protasta
were awesome on Wednesday. He is putting the personality part of being a heel together with the work, and he is just fantastic. And if they don't belt him here, we riot. There's no way Kyle Fletcher doesn't win this, right?
He should win this. And okay. I do think that Fletcher and Takeshita have shown a chemistry together as a tag team that none of the other Don Callis iterations ever have. Because I was very ready when they came out with Protasta or Protoshita. It doesn't really matter how you say that name. It's stupid. Mm-hmm. I was like, nope, this is going to be dumb. But these two guys make sense together in a way, chemistry-wise, that I was not expecting.
I love them.
I think Fletcher should win. I hope he does.
Yes. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks of Matt and Nick Jackson in a tag match where if Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for a year. If the Young Bucks lose, they'll be stripped of their executive vice president titles. What did you think of the go-home segment on Dynamite, Chris?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. So you didn't.
You know, I made it through a decent chunk of Dynamite, and then I got to like the part 2 thing, and I was watching some of it, and I think I started mixing or something, so I never actually finished.
Okay, so
I never finished Dynamite. I saw Matt and Nick get out of a car.
Yes. Well, what happened was at the end of the All-Star 8-man tag, because that's all Tony can book these days. The Death Riders.
And I knew that was coming, and I don't care about those.
The Death Riders and the Young Bucks had Will Ospreay and I forgot who else this tag ready to put plastic bags over their heads and choke them out, but instead they were distracted by Swerve Strickland in a not a bulldozer. It's the one with the claw.
Zamboni.
No. The construction thing that has the claw scoop.
The claw. Oh, the bucket, right?
Yes. Yeah, kind of thing. Where he proceeds to monologue, and the Bucks are so distracted during this monologue that they forget to put the plastic bags on the babyfaces' heads, and then they run out there, but they don't run into Swerve, who has just destroyed their limo in a thing straight out of Steve Austin, to the point where Swerve flips the double bird and says, "Whose house?" But they don't run into each other crossing into the building and out of the building.
This sounds like an exceptional heat building segment, Jeffrey. I really do need to circle back to this.
It could have been if Swerve had just destroyed the car and then monologued. But instead he monologued before doing anything to the car, which would have given them time to get... It was just ridiculous to me, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I have an interesting theory for you about the match, Chris, because I think the Young Bucks win this. Yes. I think then Ospreay and Strickland are cleared off the board to give Hangman adequate time to see if he can carry this company as a champion while facing plenty of good challengers in maybe Omega, MJF, Okada. We can do Takeshita here. We can do Fletcher here. There are plenty of guys you can throw. And even Moxley again. You can throw at Hangman Page.
Absolutely. I think it is high time to try the Adam Page experiment. We have not tried him as champion before, and we don't know what business might look like under an Adam Page regime. And I feel very hopeful that we could build a cogent story around Adam Page that will not fizzle out or lose energy midway through. Hey, wait, wasn't he champion a few years ago? Didn't we do most of these matchups already? Don't we kind of know what Adam Page is?
Well, he was emo then. He won't be emo now.
Oh, okay, it's different now.
Who do you have winning?
It's Adam Page versus...
This is Swerve and Ospreay.
Swerve and Ospreay. You brought up Adam Page. I think the Bucks win because this company has no idea why they signed Will Ospreay in the first place. And so why not just kind of come full circle on that? That's the story here, right? The real story, the meta story, is that AEW doesn't really know why they signed Will Ospreay. They signed Will Ospreay the same reason why an emo kid wears skinny jeans that ride up against their crotch. You're just supposed to do it, but you're not really sure why you're doing it. It's kind of hurting you.
Because he's the best wrestler in the world, Chris.
Mm-hmm. The pants look good.
The Women's Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW Women's World Championship match. The only two participants we know thus far are Chris Statlander, who will be number 1, and Megan Bayne, who will be number 2, after that 4-way, which was like all the other 8-man tags that were in there, kind of, but I enjoyed the 4-way because I enjoy all 4 women on their own merits because they tend to hurt each other a bit. But out of all the women's division in this, who do you see possibly getting a match for a future world title match?
Against Monet?
I don't think Monet is winning. I think it's going to be Timeless Tony Storm.
Oh, okay. Against it is Statlander. It seems to me that I'm fascinated by the idea that you can build a lot of narrative weight around entrant 1 and entrant 2 into a battle royal, but Tony Khan's definitely here on this show going in that direction.
It's a gauntlet match, not a battle royal.
Oh, he was doing this with the battle royal thingy though with Briscoe and MJF. I don't know, maybe Statlander runs the gauntlet and that gets her white hot as a heel. I
think of those two.
I don't know.
Bane, but
maybe Bane.
No, I know. I think I know who it's going to be. I think it's going to be Willow Nightingale getting the title match, and then we build up. Maybe we turn Tony Storm in a few months, and we build up that match. But I think.
I hope they do turn her because that accent as a babyface is so grating.
The problem is we don't know if winning this gauntlet is a Money in the Bank style cash-in or just you can announce you want to have the title match. So if it's not a Money in the Bank type style thing, I think Willow gets it and then they crown her champion eventually. I go
Statlander because I think you're probably right. She ends up in the Death Riders because they need to do something.
I would not be shocked if Britt Baker makes an appearance here either. I don't think she does, but it wouldn't shock me necessarily.
The white hot Britt Baker. You gotta make sure to put white hot in front of most of these.
Nobody cares. Thanks, Britt. Way to plug that program with Serena. The Men's Casino Gauntlet has 3 announced participants, which is just goes against everything about it. Number 1, Mark Briscoe. Number 2, MJF. And I guess number 3 is Mystico.
Yeah, right. No, Mystico. Mystico's the other named entrant. Boy, is this intriguing. I guess MJF has to win this.
MJF's totally winning this. And then it's gonna, and I think Bobby Lashley might be one of the first opponents for Hangman Adam Page, and then that's how we get into the split of, the Hurt Syndicate or Hurt Business between MJF and Lashley, kind of needling each other. But that's just me. I'm just thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada, your Continental Champion, versus Kenny Omega, your International Champion, for a winner-takes-all match to unify the AEW Continental Championship, AEW International Championship into the inaugural prestigious award that is the AEW Unified Championship.
Anything to not call it the Intercontinental Championship. It's so silly. Like, you're literally merging the international belt with the continental
title.
Stop it. You, this is, file this under, I am definitely not mad Tony Khan is not gotten to by old Vince-isms sort of thing. Like, the idea that Vince has toxified the word intercontinental for you, get over it, dude. Get over it. It's going to be okay.
This is one match where I have no idea who's going to win it. Honestly, I don't.
I I think Okada wins this.
I'm going to go the opposite way because I think Omega needs to win this to heat him up. He is ice cold right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
agreed.
You have the Okada Takeshita story within the Callis family, but Takeshita is going off to work in Japan for a while. I think that might play into it somehow. For some reason, I just think they need to have Kenny Omega win this to help their company.
I think Okada beats Omega, and then he's kind of Don Callis' guy. Like, Callis now has a little bit of like a crush on Okada now that he knows that Okada can actually beat Omega, unlike all of his other schlubs.
I would not be shocked if that happens also. It's just, we'll see. We'll see what Okada we get to. I assume he'll have his working boots on. Timeless Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. I did not like that go home promo at all. But other people did.
No, this is. Why did you not finish Dynamite, Chris? I straight up would directly point at this promo. I hate Toni Storm as a babyface.
It was two characters talking past each other for me.
Yes.
As opposed to what it could have been, where it's like Mercedes. I mean,
no, and Toni Storm has big dogism. I'm not letting the AEW people off the hook after slagging on some of these other people in WWE for having the big dog Roman Reigns energy. Toni Storm's current character right now is like laying into like clear-coded catchphrases on a regular basis.
Yes.
And it's like she does the same lines, and you're kind of waiting for her to go, say the thing, Tony, say the thing. I have a big ass. Or whatever it's going to be.
She literally said there's only two things that come from Texas.
It says,
right. I'm
wink, wink. Do you know what I'm doing here? And it's been a bunch of this stuff. And a little bit of it's fine, but like she is getting by on these promos going into that stuff because she doesn't have real content or a real ability to engage with the other person on the other side of the screen. The irony is, Timeless Toni Storm is a terrible actress in a scene. Timeless Toni Storm's character sort of chews up whatever scene it's in, and it becomes sort of like camp kitsch, and it's unable to deliver any degree of intensity. It can't even deliver the AEW classic I want you to feel something promo that we all know and love. Hangman, at this next match, I want you to feel something. She can't even do that as Timeless Toni Storm because it's like, gotta be like, and I am somebody who does feel something, and you, Mercedes Moné, are going to feel something too. My tits will be out, and you will be down.
It's two kitschy characters talking
like
to each other, but Tony,
it's funny.
Tony is accusing Mercedes of being a fraud, and I'm just like, the problem with this interaction to me is that neither of these people are connecting on the real level it needs to be. Mercedes Moné came to this company to be the biggest star in wrestling, not just the biggest women's star, the biggest star in wrestling where she could prove that she could carry a company. Toni Storm is here because Vince McMahon wanted to hypersexualize her, and she didn't want, and she basically left to be homesick.
And she wanted to do that in her own different way. She had her own vision of how that was supposed to be done.
Well, what I'm saying is there is a real story here to be told, and they have just decided to run as far away from it as possible.
And there's a much more consistent way to characterize Toni Storm that would be within this character, where she views herself as this mountain, like this unclimbable mountain. Like, you're trying to collect all these belts. I am the unconquerable queen. I am this is my Hollywood. You cannot conquer me. Instead of, to your point, a big reason this falls flat is you have someone speaking like this, Jeffrey, accusing people of being fake. You are a fraud. You, sir, are a fake Jeffrey. Like,
I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO.
Look at you. You are unreal. No one believes anything you say.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, right? Like you in the hamming.
But for the AEW fan base, and also now in the story.
No, they wanted to work. So, like, this is the problem with that fan base sometimes, where they really hurt themselves by trying to help, where they want crap to work. And it's like, no, bro's playing a bad guitar solo. Stop clapping so they go practice.
But you know why they wanted to work
clap.
also.
I love you. You're a great friend of mine.
The irony of why they want it to work is they want it to be someone that, quote unquote, they made in AEW, conquering someone from WWE. But Tony Storm is a complete WWE character.
Right. Yeah.
This
is a big, in a lot of ways, it's almost like a parody.
Yes.
Of the character she was trying to be made into by Vince. But like, you're building the heart and soul of the division around someone who is a black and white fraud, who thinks that she's unstuck from time. Her speech is in denial of the time and place that we are in. Because she's not speaking Australia. Let's be very clear. I know what's going on here. It's transatlantic. It's mid-20th century transatlantic. Oh, Jeffrey.
It's William F. Buckley.
Yes, which is an inherently fake. It's a fake dialect. It's a construct. And so, if anything, the one argument you never want a character who speaks like that doing is accusing other people of being phony baloney. Because at the core, your speech is phony, dude.
And in the main event, Jon Moxley, your champion, versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. This thing is going to be overbooked as hell, but they're going to have to end it with at least 5 minutes of these two one-on-one in order for it to get over. And my only other comment is that Adam Page should come out to his babyface music. He shouldn't leave to his babyface music. I mean, he should, but he should come out to it as well to get this crowd going, as opposed to that. It's like, oh God, do the upbeat Hangman theme here. But yes, we are crowning Hangman. I think Moxley continuing as champ would be dumb at this point.
Yeah, well, Jeff, that's been true for months. So I don't actually accept that as an argument. I'm trying to get to some other argument where Page has to win, because Moxley retaining here would be dumb is an argument you and I have been making for a very long time. Yeah. Because this angle sucks. Still, it's always sucked. The promos that you like by Jon Moxley are only good because it's like he's not doing a promo within the angle. He's just doing a Jon Moxley promo, which makes you nostalgic for when he was good, not this, which, just to refer back, sucks. So I think Moxley retains. Yep.
No.
Yep.
In Texas?
Yep.
Come on, Chris.
Yep, I do.
You're trolling.
Nope. This needed to be over a while ago, and I don't see any reason why it's done yet.
All right. Anything in AEW that you want to hit on other than this stuff, or can we move on?
No, we need to move on.
Okay.
I have 30. I have less than 30. I want to try to get out here in 20.
We'll do that. NXT Great American Bash, 5 matches. Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy.
I think Jasper Troy's got to win this.
I think he's winning it because he's bigger. Yeah. And because Javon laid him out. That's fairly easy. Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the NXT North American title. I think this is going to be a banger.
Me too. I think Saints wins.
I'm going to go with Page retaining.
Oh, because it is Falls Count Anywhere. Vanity Project comes out.
Vanity Project's going to help out, yes.
Yep.
A singles match for the NXT Women's North American title. Sol Ruca with Zarya versus Izzy Dame with Tatum Paxley.
I think Sol loses the title here.
I think agree.
I think like the story here has been, broadly speaking, that the culling is moving into being under control of Izzy Dane, and Izzy needs a belt to kind of solidify that. And then Tatum will be like her little minion of sorts defending the belt. And then you can decide if you want to break up Zarya and Sol Ruka, because they're a pretty good team. I like them. Or if you want to keep going with them.
I think actually there's a chance that they belt Sol and Zarya as the women's tag title on Evolution.
Entirely possible. Yeah, right.
And that she loses this, and that's the consolation for losing the singles title.
I mean, right? No, I think the consolation, but also I think recognition that Zarya and Sol are a nice team. Like they narratively complement each other, where like Zol's the chill one and Zarya has the rage up capacity. So you always have that card to play narratively where she can kind of freak out and that might cost them the match or win them the match. A lot of different outs at that team.
Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence of JC Jane and Fallon Henley with Jasmine Nix. I think it's fairly obvious that Jordan and Blake are going to win.
Boy, if Blake doesn't win.
Well, Blake might turn heel because that entire go home thing was, I don't care about training. I just want to get my nails done.
I mean, what if this is all a setup on Jordan Grace and
there you go.
Blake becomes the new leader of Fatal Influence or becomes the new member of Fatal Influence.
Horseman beatdown. I'm here for that, obviously. The problem is I think there's also going to be a heel turn in the main event as Obafemi takes on Yoshiki Inamura with Josh Briggs. Boy, Briggs was acting heelish on this segment, wasn't he?
Yeah, right. I mean, it just gives away. I mean, not that there's a lot of doubt.
They're tipping their cards here.
Yes, I hated that they did this because I think this needed to be kind of Briggs just playing it neutral friend, as in like, yo, you got this, dude. You got this. Not over the top, like, yeah, I'm your number one fan. I love you. Or this other thing where, I got a sinister streak about, what am I up to? I think he should have just played it chill, and then you do the beatdown afterwards. You do the jealous beatdown after Inamura loses, because he's losing here. But I don't like that Briggs made him so much of a part of the story here, because I don't think it lets Inamura get that chance to connect with the fans, because the scene's not enough about him.
I did dig Muda on NXT, though. That made me laugh. Moving on to then Saturday night's main event. 4 matches. They'll probably shoehorn a women's match somewhere in here, but it doesn't matter. Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso for the United States Championship. Solo Sikoa's retaining. There's no way that's happening, right?
No. Just Jimmy Chop guy.
Tala Tonga will come out and do something. Randy Orton
that's probably how they're going to get out of this, is that like the other members of the family are going to beat up Jimmy so he's protected, but he stinks, and there it is.
I'll get to the other 2 matches because the top one's the intriguing one. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre is going to be a banger, I think. But I think Drew McIntyre wins.
Drew has to win here, I think. Drew needs to get back in the mix, and I think a big win over Randy is an important thing for Drew to kind of get back into the shuffle.
LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. Rollins is winning this with the help of somebody in his crew, but God knows what, they're already breaking them up with Braun Breaker. God, why?
Boy, I know. Clobber me over the head with the "we're coming for Seth Rollins" promo here.
Yeah, I mean, he takes the microphone away from Paul Heyman and interrupts. I mean, it's too soon for that, but it might be a swerve. That's the thing here. They may just go, we fooled you all, ha ha ha, and then it sucks because they like to do that a lot.
Yeah, right. I mean, this could be the fake dissension orchestrated by Heyman. Heyman does love that story. I think it's stupid because he gives himself this Deus Ex Machina thing where he's like so good at emotionally training people that they can do completely implausible things like slap or punch each other in the face, and every beat of it is just a work on all the dumb marks.
Yeah.
Heyman Ex Machina.
All right, here's the question. The main event of this is Gunther, your champion, versus Goldberg in his retirement match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who wins this match? And is there a cash-in after this match?
I think, you forget the question, is there a cash-in during this match to protect both of these guys, right? So you have a way of getting out of this where nobody looks particularly bad. I'm going to say there is a cash-in during this match and Rollins gets pinned.
Oh man, with like a spear, like Goldberg spears him or something.
No,
like that?
No. Like Gunther, like he comes in, he screws over Goldberg, he costs Goldberg his opportunity, and then Gunther is able to pin Rollins.
Okay,
and now Rollins looks like the weak link in that faction. That it's not a Heyman ex machina thing with Braun Breaker, that we really are tipping our cards this early. I'm gonna shoot my shot on that. I with a full knowledge that I might be wrong, but it does kind of seem like there's some evidence they might be going this direction.
I'm going another way. I thought for a moment they might belt Goldberg for his last thing, but this is WWE, and there's still bitterness, especially probably from Hunter, about the Attitude Era, so that's not going to happen. But I do think Gunther pins Goldberg, and then Goldberg does get a spear or in a jackhammer on Gunther, and then
that's the thing,
Rollins
it
comes
feels
down.
Like you need to protect the Goldberg loss. Like, that They're not just going to let Bill... That's why I'm saying the Seth Rollins thing. In my head, what gnaws at me is the idea that Bill Goldberg's getting pinned kind of clean in some way. And I just don't see WWE liking that branding-wise.
I can see WWE liking it branding-wise to pin Goldberg, but then Goldberg gets his heat back because it's his retirement. He gets a standing ovation from the crowd, and then Rollins comes in and takes advantage of Gunther being down. That's what I was thinking, because I just don't see them giving Goldberg a win here, necessarily.
But the other great thing, too, about this is you'd have Seth Rollins screwing over Bill Goldberg in his retirement match just for the solidify Seth Rollins heel energy.
But he doesn't screw over Goldberg necessarily.
Well, because if he ends up getting pinned by Gunther and thus Goldberg doesn't win the world title because Seth Rollins got pinned in a three-way.
Well, yes, in your scenario,
yeah.
Yes.
Right, I'm just very much in this Goldberg's loss has to be protected mindset, or thinking that WWE psychology on this, it has to be.
Well, he's getting the standing ovation somehow after the match, so it has to be a post-match beatdown, I would think, if he gets pinned, right? Goldberg destroys somebody after the match. Like maybe it's
my construction. Rollins costs Goldberg the match. Gunther retains. Then it's Goldberg and Rollins, and Goldberg is able to spin Rollins or spear Rollins and do the jackhammer as a final go home. And that's going to be a lot easier to get up and over than Gunther is.
All right.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing: is he jackhammering Gunther?
No, he might spear him. He might spear him though.
Somebody's got to get jackhammered. Then is my other part of this argument.
Okay, but I still have Seth as champion after this. You have Gunther as champion after this. That'll be interesting. We'll see. I don't think they're going to do a failed cash-in, but we will see. Let's move on to
He's had a successful one already. If anyone could stomach having a failed cash-in, it's Rollins.
Then we get to WWE Evolution, absolutely unnecessary pay-per-view. Let me state that for the record.
It's necessary because they are on the show in Saudi Arabia.
Singles match for the NXT Women's title. Jacy Jayne, your champion, with Fallon and Jasmine versus Jordynne Grace.
I think Fatal Influence won at the pay-per-view. Or no, I think Jordan and Monroe won at the pay-per-view, so then Jordan can lose here to Jacy Jayne.
I think Jordan's getting belted here, and then I think somehow...
Oh, you think Jacy's already toast as champion?
I do. I think she's...
I think they're keeping this most beatable champion ever thing for a while. I think that's like the most beatable champion ever thing seems to me to be a telegraph that she might be the champion for a while.
I'm kind of here for that, but I'm trying to figure out how they get out of it with Fallon possibly gunning for her, and then this Blake Monroe Jordan Grace thing.
I think is going to be a turn. JC always finding a way to worm herself to retention. I think it's going to be the running story with her.
Okay. And an interminable, absolutely, what the hell are we doing? Match: Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. And the one thing you shouldn't have done in this build is make Bayley a jerk. Why? People want to like Bayley, and we just make her a complete and absolute jerk to Lyra Valkyria, who has been screwed 6 ways to Sunday by Becky Lynch. I hate everybody in this feud right now.
Yeah, no, like this. See, you thought this feud had potential, and I knew that it's had go-away energy for like the better part of a month. There's just no hope.
And Becky Lynch is retaining, isn't she? Because because the point is Becky and Bayley behind the scenes to me want to make Lyra, but we can't exactly have that. So Lyra's eventually going to win this title back against Becky, but we still have to go through this, and it's just, no thanks. In a no-holds-barred match that might be fun, Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
I have to answer the door. My time is getting tight. Naomi.
Okay, cool. Cargill. I am the same way. I think I'll do a few more previews for you answering the door, Chris, if you'd like. Tiffany Stratton's. Go ahead. Tiffany Stratton.
No, we gotta book it, man.
Okay, Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. I think Tiffany wins, and I think Naomi cashes in on it.
Yeah, Tiffany wins.
Battle Royal. Any thoughts?
No.
Okay. 4-way tag, Judgment Day, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Sol Ruka, Zarya, Kabuki Warriors.
Sol Ruka, Zarya.
I think so too. I think they pin Roxanne. Io Sky versus Rhea.
Rhea. No. And I'm actually going to say Io gets a win here. I think it's kind of important to keep the Io Rhea thing going.
All right, talk about your Beavis and Butthead thing, and we'll end it there.
Yeah, sorry, time is tight, guys, but I have to drive all the way out to Rio Rancho, and it is 5 p.m. here in Albuquerque. So Beavis and Butthead versus Hulk is 4:45. I'm
You're
gonna
not
have
the same time as me. Okay, never mind.
No. That's why I was like, I needed to tape at 3, and we ended it. So we had to do a Blitz edition this week. Beavis and Butthead versus Hulk Hogan thing just had me cackling this week. I think it encapsulates an important part of professional wrestling that has sometimes been lost, which is the bonehead element. You should be able to laugh and chuckle off of some asshole getting the axe handle. My name is Chris Novembrino. You can find me on Instagram at DOCTOR_NOV. Be sure to subscribe to my Patreon. That's all I got for you this week.
All right, get out of here. I'll wrap it up from here. Awesome. I agree with Chris. I think there should be more yelling about kicking and punch him and hurt him and all that in wrestling. Instead, we're getting these graceful dives and fun moves and stuff like that, and basically 30-year-old neckbeards ruining stuff for us. But yeah, this has been Shake Them Ropes. I didn't realize he was an hour ahead. I thought he was on my time. You can follow the show at Shake Them Ropes. You can follow me at CrapGame13. I also do the Dynamite Show on the Fight Game Media Network Wednesdays, about 20 minutes after Dynamite ends. Paul Fontaine and I thoroughly deconstruct AEW. But yeah, enjoy your weekend of wrestling. Find stuff you like and watch it. Talk to you next time.